I welcome you all in this session of the heat transfer. In this lecture, we will derive expression for generalized heat conduction equation in spherical coordinates. In previous two lectures, we have seen the generalized heat conduction equations in rectangular and cylindrical coordinates respectively. Now we will consider the equation in spherical coordinates. Again, before deriving the equation, we need to know about the spherical coordinate system. We need to understand how a point is specified in spherical coordinates, how the location of a point is specified in spherical coordinates. So this is a diagram indicating the spherical coordinate system. So let us take three mutually perpendicular directions x, y and z. This is the sphere. Now if I want to locate a point P inside the sphere, then how this point P can be located? What are the different parameters we need to define this point P? So this point P is defined by this angle phi, similar to that of cylindrical coordinates. It's a radial location from the center of the sphere. Please note, in a cylinder we define the radial location from the longitudinal axis, but in spherical coordinates the radius is defined from the center of the sphere. So the point P is defined by its radial location from the center of the sphere, r, the angle phi, which is known as the azimuthal angle, and this angle theta, which is known as zenith angle or polar angle. In spherical coordinates, please note, if this fundamental is clear to you, many of the problems related to the spherical coordinates will be solved. So please first of all understand the spherical coordinate system. In a spherical coordinate system, again I am repeating, in a spherical coordinate system, dear, any point P within the sphere can be defined by or in terms of its radial distance from the center of the sphere. It's a radial distance from the center of the sphere by this angle theta, which is known as the polar angle or polar angle or zenith angle, and again this angle phi, which is known as the zenith angle. This is azimuth angle, this is zenith angle or polar angle. So that is how the P is defined in terms of its radial location r, the angle phi, which is azimuth angle, and this angle polar angle theta. So the location of a point in a spherical coordinate system is specified as P, r, phi and theta. Now z has been replaced by theta, which is known as the polar angle or polar direction. So this is the simple spherical coordinate system. Now we need to consider in the similar fashion as we saw in the last case of cylinder. We need to define first of all a spherical element, because whatever the equation we want to derive, the element must be compatible to the geometry. In rectangular coordinates, we defined a rectangular element. In cylindrical coordinates, we defined a cylindrical element. Now in a spherical coordinate system, we have to choose a spherical element. We need to define a spherical element. So that is how the spherical element is defined. Please take a click of this diagram and start drawing this diagram. Practice drawing this diagram. So this is a spherical element I have cut from a large sphere. From this large sphere, I have cut a small spherical element, and I am showing you an exaggerated view of that spherical element. If this is a small spherical element, infinitesimal smaller element. Now this smaller element has been exaggerated into this figure. Now again there will be three directions. First of all, let me indicate the directions. Please note, this is a curved direction, this is a curve, this is a curve, this is also a curve. Only straight line is this, radial direction. Only straight line in this element. Draw the geometry of this element. This is a curve, this is also a curve, this is a curve, this is a curve. But only this length is a linear direction, linear dimension. So if you define, again three directions will be there. One is radial direction similar to cylinder. One will be phi direction, circumferential direction or phi direction, and another one will be the polar direction. Radial, circumferential and polar. Radial, circumferential and polar direction. So three directions are there. Dear, you will not be able to understand from any of the book. Please note this point. I am going to clarify the point over here only. It would be very difficult for you to understand from a book. So please note very carefully. This is a spherical coordinate system. So first understand the spherical coordinate system. Define a spherical element. Draw the exaggerated view of that spherical element. Then indicate the directions. This is the radial direction. This is the phi direction similar to cylinder. One more direction would be there, which is known as polar direction or zenith direction, you can say. So this is the radial direction. This is phi direction, and this is theta direction. So the point has been defined in terms of r, phi and theta. Now if we will cut a spherical element at a radius r of thickness dr, then the dimensions of the element would be like this. This would be dr. This element has been taken, the element has been taken out, the element has been shown in exaggerated view over here. So this thickness would be dr, this dimension will be r sine theta d phi, and this would be r d theta, this would be r d theta. Okay, I think it is difficult for you to understand how this dimensions has been calculated. At the last of the lecture, I will give you the expressions how to calculate this and this. I will calculate this length and this length at the last of the lecture. Okay, so abhi aap consider kare, you just note that this thickness of the element is always dr. You considered an element at a radius r of thickness dr, so this would be dr. Let this direction, this length is r d theta, and this length is r sin theta d phi. अभी मैं आपको कह रहा हूं कि आप ये लेंथ्स याद कर लें. You just remember these lengths so that the volume of the fluid element volume of the spherical element can be written as r sin theta d phi. This is r sin theta d phi. This is dr, and this r d theta, so that it becomes r square. The volume of the element, please note, r d theta, dr, and r sin theta d phi. So it would be r square sin theta d phi dr d theta. This is the volume of the element. Please do not get panic about how this r sin theta d phi came, how this r d theta came. I will tell you separately in the last of the lecture. You just consider this a spherical element which is compatible to the geometry. Spherical element. This spherical element has been taken out of the sphere and has been drawn in an exaggerated manner over here. All the three different directions has been located. This is radial direction, this is phi direction, and another one is polar direction. Okay, clear to everyone? Just do not get panic about this, how this r sin theta d phi came, how this is r d theta. I will tell you separately. Okay, so this is the spherical element defined by all its dimensions and all other directions. Now please note, again I'm writing the energy balance for the element. The energy balance for the element can be written as rate of heat conduction at r, phi and theta phases. So let me take care of this again. Please. Let us write energy balance. Let us write energy balance for the element, for the spherical element. Let us write energy balance for the spherical element. Energy balance for the spherical elements yields, again, Q in the rate of heat conduction into the sphere minus rate of heat conduction out of the spherical element plus rate of heat generation within the element must be equal to rate of change of energy of the element with respect to time. This is simple energy balance for the element. That is, rate of heat conduction into the element means rate of heat conduction at r, phi and theta phases, rate of heat conduction at r plus dr, phi plus d phi and theta plus d theta phases plus heat generation. This you can do yourself. Okay, so this is a general energy balance. This is general energy balance equation for this spherical element. Now this Q in would be the heat can enter from all three different directions, that is QR, Q phi and Q theta. So heat in will be, this heat in is QR plus Q phi plus Q theta. This is total heat, the rate of heat input into the element, minus Q out is QR plus dr plus Q phi plus d phi plus Q theta plus d theta, plus rate of heat generation is Q is equals to del E of the element del T. This is equation 1. I will be proceeding in the same manner the way I proceed in cylindrical coordinates. Okay, so in the same way I will be proceeding. Now this equation, this equation can again be written as QR minus QR plus dr plus Q phi minus Q phi plus d phi plus Q theta minus Q theta plus d theta plus q dot g is equals to del E of the element upon del T. This is equation 1. This is equation 1. Okay. Now I want to derive the expressions for each of the term. I need to calculate each of the term separately. All these 5 terms, first, second, third, fourth and fifth, I need to calculate. So let us consider the heat conduction in each of the directions separately. Let us consider heat conduction in radial direction. Radial direction. Let me take heat conduction in radial direction. Heat conduction in radial direction. So please note, this is the radial direction. This is the radial direction. So QR can be written as minus KR. KR is the thermal conductivity in radial direction, multiply by area perpendicular to radial direction. Again, please note, this is the heat conduction in radial direction. So you need to take this area. You need to consider the area of this face, because we always take the area perpendicular to the direction of heat transfer. So this area perpendicular to the radial direction is r sin theta d phi multiplied by r d theta. So the area perpendicular to the direction of heat transfer would be r sin theta d phi multiplied by r d theta, which is r square sin theta d theta d phi. Okay, the area of this face has been taken. This area of this face, which will be r square sin theta d phi d theta, the del T upon del R. Now from Taylor series expansion, QR plus dr can be written as QR plus del upon del R of QR into dr. So it would be QR plus dr would become minus KR r square sin theta d phi del T upon del R plus del upon del R of again QR. QR is this KR r square sin theta d phi del T upon del R multiply by dr. Values put कर दी है मैंने. I have put the value of QR over here. QR has been put in this expression. Now I will do the same. This minus is there. Subtracting, because I need to calculate QR minus QR plus dr. Therefore QR minus QR plus dr would become only this term. This has got cancelled out, so it would be del upon del R of KR r square sin theta d phi del T upon del R multiply by dr. If you want to take something out of the expression, you can take those out. Sin theta d phi can be taken out of the integration over here. Del upon del R, KR would remain inside the integration because this is the thermal conductivity in radial direction function of R. R square would remain inside. Del T upon del R would also remain inside. You can take sin theta d phi out, and this dr is already there. So this is the expression for QR minus QR plus dr, and this is equation A. Now let us consider the phi direction and then theta direction. Let us consider phi direction. Now in phi direction, azimuthal direction, phi direction. So first of all, let me write q phi. Q phi will be minus of k phi, area perpendicular to phi direction. Please note over here in the figure, this is the phi direction, this is the phi direction. So this area I need to take into account. The area of this face I need to take into account, because area is always perpendicular to the direction of this transfer. This is the phi direction, this is the phi direction. So this area of this face has to be taken into account, which is r d theta multiplied by dr. R d theta multiplied by dr. So the area r d theta multiplied by dr into del T upon this distance. Please note this, r sin theta d phi, del T upon r sin theta d phi, because in phi direction the length is r sin theta d phi. So it would be r sin theta del phi, r sin theta del phi, del T upon r sin theta del phi. Okay, now q phi plus d phi can be written as, first of all, q phi, Taylor series expansion, del upon del phi of q phi into d phi, so that q phi plus d phi would be equal to minus of k phi r d theta dr del t upon r sin theta del phi, this value, plus again del upon del phi of q phi minus k phi r d theta dr del t upon r sin theta del phi d phi. q phi, I have put the value of q phi in this equation. Now I need to calculate q phi minus q phi plus d phi. Please note very carefully, my dear, it is very difficult to understand from the book. Okay, some steps are always missing in the books, so please note very carefully. Subtracting this equation from this equation, I will get only this sum left. It would be del upon del phi k phi r d theta dr del t upon r sin theta del phi multiply by d phi. Now something can be taken out of the equation which is not a function of phi. Del upon del phi, k phi is the function of phi, it would remain inside. Del t upon del phi would also remain inside. You can take r d theta dr upon r sin theta, this r gets cancelled out, you can omit r. Okay, d theta dr sin theta and d phi. So finally q phi minus q phi plus d phi is there for you, equation B. R has been cancelled out. Okay, so d theta and dr has been taken out, sin theta is also taken out. Clear? This is in phi direction, this is in phi direction. Now let us consider the heat transfer in theta direction. Okay, let's note theta direction. What you can write q theta as? Q theta can be written as minus k theta, area perpendicular to theta direction, This is your theta direction, this is theta direction. So this area of this face you need to take now, area of this face, and this area is r sin theta d phi dr. This is dr, this is r sin theta d phi. So area will be r sin theta d phi dr, r sin theta d phi dr, r sin theta d phi dr multiply by del t upon theta direction, the value of length in theta direction is r delta theta, r d theta, no? This is r d theta, this is r d theta, so del upon r del theta. Is it clear to everyone? Please note, that is how you have to write. Now q theta plus d theta can be written as q theta plus del upon del theta of q theta into d theta. So q theta plus d theta becomes equal to q theta minus k theta r sin theta d phi dr del t upon r delta theta plus del upon del theta of this whole term minus k theta r sin theta d phi dr del t upon r del theta multiply by d theta. Simply the values has been put down. Now again I have to write q theta minus q theta plus d theta, which would be equal to this term gets cancelled out, this term remains del upon del theta of k theta r sin theta d phi dr del t upon r delta theta into d theta. This is r. Now something can be taken out of integration. Please note, this is del upon del theta, so the function of theta would remain inside k theta, sin theta would also remain inside sin theta, also del t upon del theta will remain inside. This r and this r gets cancelled out. What would be outside? D theta, d phi and dr. This d theta, sorry, d theta is already out of the integration. D phi and dr can be taken out. D phi and dr has been taken out. R has been cancelled out. R has been cancelled out. So the equation will be this q theta minus q theta plus d theta. Okay, this is equation number C. This is equation number C. Now we need to take into account the rate of heat generation. Now rate of heat generation, Q dot G can be written as Q dot G multiplied by volume, where Q dot G indicates rate of heat generation per unit volume. This is rate of heat generation per unit volume. When rate of heat generation per unit volume is multiplied by volume, it becomes the rate of heat generation. This is rate of heat generation. This is rate of heat generation per unit volume. Rate of heat generation per unit volume multiplied by volume will give you rate of heat generation. So Q dot G will be equal to Q dot G. What is the volume? Volume we have already written the volume of the element as R square sine theta d phi dr d theta. R square sine theta d theta d phi dr. This is equation D. And del E of the element upon del T would be del upon del T of mc T, mass, specific heat, and temperature, mct. So del upon del T, mass would be density into volume, C into T, which can further be written as rho, and dV can be taken out because volume is constant, density is constant, and C also taken out, it is constant. It would become del T upon del T, which can further be written as C rho dV, value of dV is R sine theta d theta d phi dr multiplied by del T upon del R. This is del E of the element by del T. Please, this we have done in two cases, rectangular coordinate system and also in cylindrical coordinate system. So this is not a big deal for you now. I have to take simply right expression for E. E is mcp dt. You have understood, you have already known that E is given by mc dt, but that is in differential form. Simply E has been written mct. Now it has been differentiated with respect to time. So this is our equation number E. Now with the help of equation A, B, C, D and E, the equation 1 can be written as this was the equation 1. This was the equation 1. I need to write this from equation A, this from equation B, this from equation C, from equation D and from equation E, so that the final equation can be written as equation 1 becomes. Now equation 1 becomes, now you can do yourself, but still I am doing. First of all, value of QR minus QR plus DR, which is del upon del R of KR R square del T upon del R sine theta d theta d phi dr. Now the value of q phi minus d phi, q phi minus q phi plus d phi, this is the value over here. Let me write this value plus this value from equation B, which is del upon del phi k phi del T upon del phi d theta dr d phi on sine theta. Okay, and the value q theta minus q theta plus d theta is plus del upon del theta k theta sine theta del T upon del theta d theta d phi dr plus rate of heat generation. Rate of heat generation is this Qg multiplied by volume R square sine theta d phi dr is equals to rho C R square sine theta d phi dr multiplied by del T upon del T. Again, what I will do? Again, I have to convert each of the term into volume terms so that the volume term can be cancelled out. So please, how to write these volume terms? Please note. This is del upon del R of KR R square del T upon del R. Now, since the volume is R square sine theta d phi dr, What is remaining over here? Sine theta, d phi dr is already there. If this equation is multiplied by r square and divided by r square, writing this sine theta, d phi dr, I have simply multiplied this first term by r square and divided by r square, so that this upper term would remain equal to volume of the element. Likewise, in this phi term, del upon del phi, k phi del t upon del phi, what is remaining over here? Here r square sine theta is remaining upward. So the equation is d dr d phi is already there, sine theta is there. I need to multiply this by r square sine theta and also divided by r square sine theta, so that the above term can be written as d dr d phi r square sine theta becomes equal to volume. This whole term becomes equal to volume. Similarly, this third term, del upon del theta, k theta sine theta del t upon del theta, d d phi dr, d d phi dr, let me multiply by r square sine theta, let me divide by r square sine theta. Okay, clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Please note, plus this fourth term will remain unchanged, r square sine theta d phi dr is equals to the fifth term, rho c r square sine theta d phi dr del t upon del t. Okay, is it clear? I have made a volume term in each of the term. Now this volume term will get cancelled out from here. This volume term gets cancelled out from each of the expression. Now what remains? Rewriting the above equation. Please note, I am writing this equation again by cancelling out the volume term from each of the expression. This would become del upon del r, kr r square del t upon del r. This volume term gets cancelled out from each term. So what will remain over here? 1 upon r square. So this 1 upon r square. Now the second term, del upon del phi, k phi del t upon del phi. What remains? This upper term is volume term. R square sine square theta remains 1 upon r square sine square theta. Plus what about the last term? Last term, this again volume term. This is the volume term, d d phi dr r square sine. This gets cancelled out. What remains? 1 upon r square sine theta del upon del theta of k theta sine theta del t upon del theta. Please note, plus q dot g, volume gets cancelled out, is equals to rho c del t upon del t. So this is your generalized heat conduction equation. This is your generalized heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. Sorry, spherical coordinates. I think it is clear to you. I think it is very much clear to you all. A beautiful expression is there. You need not to consider any of the book. Now I will use certain approximations. The first approximation is, let the material is thermally isotropic. Let the material is thermally isotropic. Let the material is thermally isotropic. Then Kr is equals to K phi equals to K theta equals to K. That is, the thermal conductivity is equal in each of the direction. Then the equation would be 1 upon r square del upon del r, kr is k, r square del t upon del r, plus this is 1 upon r square sine square theta del upon del phi of k del t upon del phi, plus 1 upon r square sine theta, I'm writing this equation, this expression, del upon del theta of k sine theta del t upon del theta, plus q dot g is equals to rho c del t upon del t. Okay, I have simplified the terms. We have simplified the terms. Now let k is constant. Let another approximation, let k is equals to constant. It is not the function of space either. It it is not the function of space, or it is not the function of temperature, so that k can be taken out of the integration. And when k is taken out of the integration, then we will divide whole equation by k as well. K has been taken out, and these expressions will be divided by k. So it would become, the equation can be rewritten as del upon del r. K has been taken out of the integration, plus 1 upon r square sine square theta del upon del phi. Since k has been taken out, it would become del square t upon del phi square, plus 1 upon r square sine theta. K has been taken out, it would be del upon del theta of sine theta del t upon del theta, plus dividing this expression, this term by k, and also this term by k, so that k has been taken out and whole equation has been divided by k. Rho c by k del t upon del t. Finally, this is the equation, and since the thermal diffusivity alpha is the ratio of thermal conductivity to the multiplication rho of rho and c. So finally, lastly, the equation can be written as 1 upon r square del upon del r square del t upon del r, plus 1 upon r square sine square theta del square t upon del phi square, plus 1 upon r square sine theta del t upon del phi plus qg is equals to 1 upon alpha del t upon del t. This is the generalized heat conduction equation using certain approximations. Two approximations we have used. Let the material is thermally isotropic and the thermal conductivity is constant. 1 upon r square del upon del r square del t upon del r, plus 1 upon r square sine square theta del square t upon del phi square, plus 1 upon r square sine theta d theta d phi, plus q dot g by k would be there, is equals to 1 by alpha del t upon del t. So dear, we have derived all the three equations, that is generalized heat conduction equation in rectangular, cylindrical and polar coordinates. Please, the way I have derived, you will not find in any of the book. So please note this very carefully. Now